A sword that is never broken is a sword that has never been tested. This is not metaphorical in the sense of exaggeration. The samurai understood this literally and spiritually. A blade, no matter how polished, no matter how balanced, is only proven in moments of extreme stress. To strike, to parry, to clash against another will, and steel, this is the crucible that separates the ornamental from the functional. But the lesson of the broken blade extends beyond the forge or the dojo. It extends to the mind, to the soul. Humiliation is the battlefield upon which a human being tests themselves in a way that victory never can. True mastery of self begins not in triumph, but in the shattering of pride, the fracturing of identity, and the acknowledgement that you are weaker than you believed. This is where the art of kintsugi, the golden repair of broken pottery, meets the psychological armor of the warrior. In the samurai code, humiliation was often considered a fate worse than death. A public shaming, a dishonor, a failure in battle or in duty could tarnish not only the individual, but their family name. The weight of shame in that culture was crushing. Yet within this same tradition lies the path to resilience. Kintsugi, the method of repairing a shattered vessel with lacquer infused with powdered gold, teaches that the act of breaking does not end the object's usefulness or beauty. The cracks become features, gilded lines that mark history and add value rather than hide shame. Translating this to human experience, the psychologically disciplined warrior does not attempt to suppress humiliation or act as if it never happened. Instead, the trauma is acknowledged, studied, and integrated. The mind itself becomes pottery. The scar of failure, the jagged fragment of pride shattered into pieces, is coated with metaphorical gold. This is the process of identity repair. By making the fracture visible, by embracing the scar, the warrior signals not weakness but growth. The wound becomes both lesson and weapon, an indelible proof that survival is possible even after collapse. The process is painful. Humiliation floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline, chemicals designed for immediate survival. Heart races, hands sweat, muscles tense. Without action, without direction, these chemicals can create chaos, panic, regret, depression, but the disciplined mind learns to convert these physiological responses into a tool. This is the dark alchemy of shame. Turning the cortisol spike into laser focus, the heat of embarrassment into a cold, purposeful drive. The warrior does not collapse under the weight of shame. They strip away the ego that allowed it to hurt in the first place. Where pride once ruled, a utilitarian self emerges efficient, less emotional, focused entirely on survival and function. The same energy that could have fueled despair now fuels technique, calculation, and self-improvement. Consider a samurai who has been publicly humiliated in training. The humiliation does not destroy him. Instead, it forces him to analyze his failure with brutal clarity. Every misstep, every hesitation is noted, examined, corrected. There is no space for vanity, only adaptation, only progress. This transformation is not without cost. As the warrior internalizes the kintsugi of the mind, there is a subtle, inexorable loss. The new identity forged in shame is more competent, more durable, more capable of enduring chaos without fracture. But it is colder. Softness, once a natural part of humanity, the spontaneous laughter, the easy empathy, the emotional opennesses sacrificed. Survival, mastery, and resilience become the primary currencies of existence. Vulnerability becomes dangerous because it reintroduces the very weaknesses that humiliation exploited. Emotional manipulation, reliance on validation, fear of shamal are excised, leaving a form of psychological armor that protects but isolates. The warrior can achieve levels of focus and ability that others cannot reach, precisely because they have traded warmth for resilience. They inhabit a fortress constructed from their own wreckage, walls coated in metaphorical gold, each crack a lesson. This fortress allows them to endure stress, to act decisively in moments where others falter, to remain unmoved in the face of insult or provocation. The price is subtle but absolute. Human connection becomes a calculated interaction, and spontaneity is rare because the mind prioritizes survival over comfort. To understand this fully, imagine a swordsman in the aftermath of a duel gone wrong. His blade snaps in the center of combat, leaving him exposed to his opponent. Pride is shattered. Honor is questioned. Yet instead of withdrawing from the path of mastery, he studies the break. He learns why the steel failed. He reforges the sword, incorporating the weaknesses into a stronger, more resilient weapon. Each fracture, each line of repair, becomes an integrated part of the blade's history and function. Psychologically, he applies the same principle to his mind. He catalogs the mistakes, internalizes the lessons, and reconstructs a self that is aware of vulnerabilities but no longer defined by them. When he steps onto the battlefield again, he carries the memory of failure like gold embedded in his consciousness, informing every decision, every strike, every defense. The physiological transformation mirrors this psychological repair. In the moments of humiliation, adrenaline sharpens senses, heightens perception, and primes the body for extreme response. The cortisol spike focuses attention on survival and problem-solving rather than distraction or self-pity. Trained properly, this response is harnessed and directed. The mind learns to convert fear and shame into deliberate action. Movements become precise, decisions become faster, awareness expands. A warrior in this state does not ignore emotion, but repurposes it. Where a less disciplined person would collapse or lash out, the refined warrior acts with surgical precision, informed by the memory of the fracture. But mastery achieved this way has inherent loneliness. Human relationships rely on vulnerability, empathy, and trust. The warrior who has transformed shame into indestructibility becomes less capable of these softer interactions. Love, friendship, casual intimacy, they remain possible but are always mediated by the awareness of fragility. The warrior's focus on resilience and self-sufficiency creates a form of isolation. They understand connection as calculated, measured, and sometimes dangerous. Every bond has the potential to reopen old fractures, to expose gold-infused cracks that have been carefully protected. This psychological isolation is the hidden cost of extreme competence. It allows survival and effectiveness in chaotic, hostile environments, but comes at the expense of warmth and spontaneous trust. Consider the mental exercises that support this transformation. A samurai might meditate on failure, reliving the moment of shame in controlled visualization. Each imagined embarrassment triggers the physiological responses, the racing heart, the adrenaline spike, but within the safe context of reflection, these chemicals are not destructive. They are analyzed, understood, and integrated. The mind learns the source of emotional pain and the mechanisms for repurposing it. Over time, the individual internalizes a pattern. Recognize the fracture, catalog it, understand it, and then transform it into a structural element of the psyche. Just as gold lines a broken vessel, the memory of humiliation lines the warrior's consciousness, creating both beauty and utility. The process also extends into decision-making and strategy. A warrior, hardened by kintsugi-like repair, does not act recklessly, but neither do they hesitate out of fear. They act informed by a precise understanding of personal limits and failure modes. Mistakes are studied, anticipated, and prepared for. This produces a form of mental discipline that is rare and valuable. The warrior anticipates risks that others overlook, calculating probabilities and outcomes with detachment. This detachment is the product of repeated exposure to trauma, shame, and the conscious integration of those experiences into a coherent, functional identity. Yet the very strengths gained through this process reinforce the costs. Emotional elasticity, the ability to forgive, to soften, to share vulnerabilities, reduced pleasure, and joy are experienced differently, because the mind evaluates every interaction through the lens of survival and efficiency. Attachment can create risk. Empathy can create weakness. In creating a self that cannot be easily broken, the warrior necessarily creates a self that is difficult to touch. Intimacy becomes selective, relationships carefully curated, interactions measured. The mental fortress is unbreachable in exchange for unbreakable focus and resilience. In practical terms, this means that every future humiliation is a smaller wound. Adversity that might destroy a lesser ego now becomes fuel for performance. Each failure reinforces the kintsugi process. Each crack repaired in gold strengthens the overall structure. The warrior moves through life with the confidence of experience, tempered by the cold clarity of lessons learned under fire. Yet at the same time, they inhabit a world of careful barriers, where trust is rationed and spontaneity is limited. They are, in effect, a blade sharpened by fire and fracture, capable of cutting through chaos, but unable to bend in warmth. The ultimate lesson is clear. Mastery of self through humiliation is not comfort, It is rigor. It is precision. It is survival turned into art. The process transforms shame into strategy, weakness into utility, and fracture into strength. The gold of kintsugi is visible not only on pottery, but in posture, gaze, decision-making, and action. The warrior carries every failure not as a hidden scar, but as an integrated, functional part of identity. They can withstand assaults on pride, attacks on honor, and crises of confidence with a steadiness that is almost unnatural. They are not untouched by suffering. They are refined by it. And yet, the price is undeniable. In achieving a mind that cannot break, the warrior trades off natural softness, the unguarded experiences of human life, the warmth of connection, and the ease of trust. The psychological fortress built to resist manipulation and humiliation also separates them from the casual intimacy others take for granted. They are, in essence, a tool of extreme focus and resilience, existing in a state of heightened function at the expense of certain human pleasures. It is a trade few consciously recognize. The cost of unbreakable competence is partial emotional isolation. If you are intrigued by the ways extreme resilience transforms the mind and want to explore more stories of psychological mastery and human adaptation, remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the fiction. The path of the broken katana is not easy to witness, but understanding it gives insight into how humans convert failure into power, how shame becomes strategy, and how the scars of humiliation can be gilded into strength. The samurai knew this, and so too can we study it, applying the same principles of acknowledgement, integration, and transformation to our own inner battles.